Hi there, this is Darla, and let's talk about manifesting today. And I'm guessing if you're here, you're someone who has devoted some amount of time to studying the idea of manifestation. In other words, how do we create breakthrough results in the world? How do we create unexpected results? That's usually how we think of manifesting, right? It's not that we took one step and the next step and the next step and it was a linear progression, but rather our thoughts created this thing in our world. Now, I know when I first started out as an entrepreneur, I guess 11 years ago, I was learning a lot about manifesting and the law of attraction. And I never really thought of it as the law of attraction. Like I never thought of The Secret as really a good movie, for example, but rather the law of vibration, right? That we are becoming aware of things that are vibrating in resonance with us, as opposed to calling them in, right? So I've always kind of held it in that way. But one of the things I've been noticing is that my approach to business and goal setting and visioning has totally flipped on its head since becoming sourced, since I began the journey long before this new brand to what it is to actually lead from a connection to spirit on a regular basis. My relationship to manifesting and visioning totally started to change in ways that were really quite uncomfortable. In other words, I had to start to let go of any idea that I know what I should be wanting and instead allow source to work through me. So the reason I'm sharing this is there was a lot of stickiness and frustration. And if you're in the realm of transformation, you probably know that that's kind of part of the deal, right? So the stickiness came as I didn't quite know how this new way worked. And so I was trying to apply the old way to my new vibration or my new energy field, right? Like visualizing what it is I want, journaling about it, how does it feel in my body when I have it, and then starting to work backward. What are the steps, or at least what is my first step in that direction? And this is great, right? But there's a bit of control that's coming in when we're attempting to create in this way. Our mind, at least for me, my mind would come in and kind of fill in steps and, mind or ego, right? If my mind isn't asking my intuition, most likely my mind is serving the function of my ego or holding me into safety, right? So I started to notice that this was feeling really sticky. Like I would try to do it in the old ways and it just didn't work. And so what's happened for me, and I'm not going to go into great detail, like we teach how to become sourced in our programs. What started happening for me is there was a long period of actually letting go of that old way of creating. Now, I kind of want to say there was a long period of not creating, but that's not actually true, right? Because we're never not creating. But it felt like a long period of not creating. But what it really was is I wasn't creating in the old ways, right? I wasn't insistent on, here is my vision, spirit, make it happen for me. And so as I began to give that up, the feelings and experiences of the thing that I wanted would start to just come into me without even having to consciously think about the thing that I wanted or even want anything, right? It just started to fill me up with the energy, the beingness of that future state. And this was all happening like without my conscious control. So it was really uncomfortable. Like I didn't even know what to make of it. Now, I was listening to an audio earlier this week, and one of the teachings was about how manifesting is actually speeding up. And you maybe have noticed everything is speeding up on the planet, right? So I know for me, I've noticed I can sit with something, an idea, a fleeting thought, feel it in my body and let it go, and then there it is, it shows up. So it's much less calculated and much shorter timeline, and also a lot less work. Now, what I want to suggest is a lot less work can feel really, really uncomfortable, right? Because we're used to working at it, right? And I know for me, I had plenty of times where I wanted to manifest something and I did all the things and I'm working at it and it didn't happen, and then I beat myself up because it didn't happen. And all of that falls away in this new mode that we're moving into. So, in short, I want to just suggest, and I would love to hear what your experience has been with this, that trying to keep manifesting in the old way may create frustration, that the new way is much faster, it's more embodied, right? It's like I feel the possibility of that moving through my cells, and then I don't have to remember it or hold on to it or write it on a Post-it note or whatever. It's like it's already there. And so we can let go a lot and flow. This tends to be uncomfortable, right? So in between, there is this process of letting go of old stored stuck energies that keep us from being in connection to source. Because when we are in connection, this flows more easily. And I won't say I've mastered it, but I've acquired quite a bit of mastery in the process of letting go, letting die all of the things my ego used to think I needed to create, and allowing the new process to emerge. And that's totally possible for you. And we're like loving supporting entrepreneurs to develop their own toolkit for this through our work with our sourced magic. And there's a quiz that we've developed, and it is in the link below. So take the quiz, and will be an opening for how to manifest faster as we move forward in the world. I'm Darla Ledoux. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe. Please, if you got value, please share. And I would love to have a conversation in the comments. Bye.